there, this is Latoya from Old Astrology, coming back at you with the series of working with the archetypes. I finally landed in Texas, so here I am. I was in Minnesota earlier, so the last video. So I'm here to speak with you about the archetype Mars. So if you haven't checked out my video from last week, I think it was last week, I was speaking with you about Saturn, so this time it's Mars. So I thought it would be perfect to wear more red today, and of course I always wear this necklace because Mars is a planet that's really strong with me. So just kind of give you the feel of red because that's the color for Mars. So before I start off with what I'm going to discuss with you, I would like to give you the definition of archetypes so that we'll make sure that you and I are on the same terms. So the definition that I found that says about archetypes is a recurrent symbol or motif in literature, art, or mythology. So like I said last time in the last video, mythology and astrology go well hand in hand together because it makes it easier for us humans to relate to what's going on with the stars, and it's kind of interchangeable. Like some say that depending on how the placements of the planets are in the constellations in reference to the Earth influence us, or it's really us just acting out the play that's going on in the stars. However way you like to see it, it doesn't really matter because we're all interconnected, I believe. So we're interconnected with the stars and life on Earth. So yes. So let's start off with what does Mars, what are the attributes of Mars? Mars is known as, in astrology, as the warrior, energy, your vitality, your sexuality, the creative power, protector, and the masculine principle. The things that I like about Mars is that it's known as the warrior and the protector. And the reason why I like these two things about Mars being that is because I believe in protecting what is it that you dream of and fighting for it. So whatever it is that you believe in, you fight for it. You make sure that you seek it through and you protect it as much as you can. Either that be like, you're literally a soldier and you're fighting for your country, or you're a light worker and you're just protecting what you believe is true so that you bring life, bring heaven on earth. I believe more that I am a light worker and value bringing heaven on earth and protecting that dream, that vision of mine. So that's why that's the reason why I like Mars and how I relate to him. Another way that I'm kind of going ahead of myself. I have a journal so I can stay on task because I'm very good at rambling because I'm a Gemini. So that's how I relate to it, and I'm reading a book that I meant to grab. I did not grab it for whatever reason. I forgot about it, I guess. Called The Warrior of Light. I'll put a link below to show so that you can see the book. But I think that's a really good book to understand the spirit of the warrior, the spirit of Mars, the energy of Mars. Like I didn't mention before, but you can see Mars, the archetype of Mars, as a part of your psyche, a part of your character, part of your personality. It could be, or you can see it outside of yourself, like an actual energy, or God, or goddess, if you think, you know, Mars is a goddess, you know, there's aspects of the goddess that would have a very Martian-like attributes, like the, you know, protectress. So like, you know, Kalima and all of them. I really like those goddesses that are very protective. Oya, the Yoruban goddess, crone goddess. Fire ants are biting me. Ow! It's perfect for Mars video. So, so to continue, I would like to go into how can you relate to or work with this archetype, Mars. So I would give like 3 ways that you can relate to Mars, or this part of your psyche, the warrior part of your psyche, the one that is willing to fight for what you believe in. So the things that you could do to tap into this part of your psyche is to think about what makes you angry, what gets you fired up and ready to take action no matter what, so that you can seek something through. And really sit with this, really think about it, because this is how you can start with tapping into this Mars-like energy. And ask yourself, can I make a mission out of this anger? And that's a way of you being able to transform that anger so that you don't act out and like destroy everything, because, you know, working with Mars, working with this part of your psyche, it can be very dangerous. It can be very destructive. It can cause wars on Earth and, you know, destroy everything. And that's not what we tend to fight for. We want things to live. So at least I do. When I fight for something, I want some kind of life, you know, to remain. I want things to transform. And so that's the whole point of fighting, I believe. So you know, a way that you could tap into this energy, this anger that you have, is to ask yourself, how can I make a mission out of this in a loving way, so that I don't destroy everything in my path. I will just only transform things that needs to be transformed, cut off, you know, things that needs to be cut off, because Mars also has the sword, you know, it's like the warrior that has the shield, has the armor, has the sword. So fighting its way through. And the reason why I you know, tap into or say what can be your mission is because Mars is exalted in Capricorn. So Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and I did a video of Saturn last week, so you can look at that video if you like. I'll put the link below. But you can, Mars is exalted in Capricorn, so you know, this is and a type of anyone that you may know that has Mars in Capricorn, you would know that this person is very purposeful in what they are going after. They don't tend to use, they tend to use their energy in a way that's not wasteful. They are really calculative in how they take action. And Capricorn is an Earth cardinal sign, so they don't, you know, selfishly just go after the things that they want. They go after things that are right for their community or the people that they care about. So they have that in mind when they're taking action. And it's down to earth, so like very calculative, very pragmatic, very they plan things out to make sure that they're able to execute and do the best of their ability. So it's not all that impulsive. It's, you know, sitting down, thinking the best way, strategizing the best way of going about your mission, and then executing it. So that, you know, that's the higher octave of the Martian energy, which is, you know, I'm currently working on tapping into. So it's very interesting. I'm used to being very impulsive and just going after the things that I want and just seeing how it turns out. But now I'm learning, okay, that's very wasteful, and it in a way that I have to recuperate my energy and, you know, clean up the mess that I've made, and it's a lot of energy. So it's better to just plan than you know, organize yourself, plan and execute. So it's kind of like, you know, that's the higher octave of working with the Mars energy. or part of your psyche. Another way that you could relate to this or work with this archetype is ask yourself, can I remind myself of my mission every morning? So every time you wake up in the morning, you remember, what is it that I'm fighting for? You know, what is my mission? And how can I do my best to keep true to that? And then lastly, ask yourself, what and who is my army and my resting place? Because as a warrior, you need a rest, and you need a group to come back to, your army to come back to, so that you can speak with them, share with them your stories of yourself in battle, and strategize with them, figure out, reflect and recuperate your energy so that you can go back out and work for what you believe in, work for what you want to see live, right? And for me, how I do that, like what is my way of asking who is my army and what is my resting place? Well, I love to read. I love to read books. I love to listen to podcasts and being around like-minded people. That's the way that I recuperate my energy, and being with my garden that I'm working on and starting up new plants. So like just reading and understanding, so that I understand what is it that is my mission and the best way for me to go about it, and connecting with other like-minded people to see and reflect on how they go about their battle, and see how I can adjust my design, my plans, how I strategize. So that is, that's my insight on working with the archetype Mars. If you have any more questions, you can connect with me at emeraldastrology@gmail.com or my Facebook. I will put those links down below so that you can contact me. And yeah, that's pretty much what I have for Mars. I feel, well, I know that I have a really strong Mars placement. It's in my 12th house conjunct with my ascendant sign, so that kind of makes Mars in my first house. So I'm all about going after what you believe in and really building up stamina so that you can go for the long run, not be held back. So if you like my video, please like it or contact me, whatever it is that you like to do, share it. But yeah, that's what I have for you, and I will see you next week with the next video in the working with the archetypes series. See you later. Bye.